Male pattern baldness. It happens to the best of us. That is actually not an original quote. I can't copyright that one like I can the Norwood 3 flap. This commercial would have taken place, let's see, around 2001. I remember I was in college, and it was for a tire store, I don't know, like Firestone or something. And it had this guy who was in his 30s, and we're talking Norwood 4, going on 5, noticeably balding. And he goes up to the counter at the tire store and he says to the guy, "Hey, I need some help, I'm balding." And the guy working at Firestone, wherever the tire store is, said, "Hey, it happens to the best of us." And of course the joke was, the customer was talking about his tires. He needed some help getting new tires because time for new tires, play on words. And you look at the guy working behind the counter and he also was noticeably thinning and balding, Norwood 4 territory, to both have been, in their 30s. So that's where I'm getting that concept from, but I think we need to explore it. Male pattern baldness, it happens to the best of us. I think without someone like me saying it out loud, it's easy to go by this default in the age of social media. Do you love me? Do you like me? Do you think I'm cool? Do you think I'm good looking? Let me see what they're doing. Oh, they're having a better time. Oh, he's better looking than me. Oh no. Okay. So I think in an age of that, and we basically serve these false idols that we see in social media, these fantasy versions of life and human beings that we know, and then we envy them because of their genetics. For whatever reasons, we think that their lives are better than ours, and then we get intimidated. That's why I don't scroll on Facebook. I haven't since Trump won the election. That's the last time I scrolled Facebook. You can't become smarter by scrolling Facebook. You can only become dumber. That's what Nick Shell says. So male pattern baldness, it happens to the best of us. Most of us are in this situation. Most of us are going to be dealing with receding hairlines, balding, thinning, having to have certain hairstyles based on our changing hairline. That's the norm. That's welcome to the club. That's what this channel is all about. It's about a guy who is not actually stopping his hair loss despite the chant, minoxidil hair transplant. I'm like, no, I'd rather just age like a normal man. That's what I'm gonna do. And because I feel like I'm the leader of this club. I feel like, oh yeah, it's happening to you. Yeah, you know what? You're a great guy. You're a good looking guy. You're a smart guy. You're a cool guy. Come over here. We're going to do our own thing. We're going to keep having fun. And we're not going to let this dictate our lives. We share this common thing that we're normal. That we're normal for experiencing male pattern baldness. We are the majority. And it's interesting to see with hair loss how it's not treated that way. A lot of the guys that are starting to experience it, they treat themselves as if they're the outcast, when reality, we're all part of this. I understand there's some age differences between everyone watching these videos. I understand, and there's differentiations between what level of hair loss. But ultimately, if you identify as being part of the male pattern baldness community, you're here. And that's the thing. As the leader of this group, for me, it's like you belong here. If you're the guy who's trying to escape, then you probably don't belong here. If you're the guy who's desperate to find a fix for your hair loss, you probably don't really belong here. You're probably closer to the door over there instead of hanging out, joining the party with the rest of us. That's what this channel is all about. Now, there's plenty of other channels that, as far as the escape room, they'll help you find the door to go get that hair transplant, micropigmentation, whatever kind of crazy diet, onion juice, salsa, burrito, whatever you're supposed to put in your head to stop. It always seems like it's Mexican food that they want you to put in your head. There's channels for that, but that's not what this is. I am all about embracing male pattern baldness, and I'm all about celebrating masculinity. I'm about being a normal male, not being ashamed of this. We can openly talk about it, but this is me saying, hey, male pattern baldness, it happens to the best of us. It doesn't mean it makes us less of a person because it happens to us. It makes us more of a person. It makes us more of a man, a masculine man, to be experiencing this. Now, I would say what makes us less of a man is when we're not dealing with this, when they're freaking out about it and letting anxiety and depression and all this take us over something that's completely normal. That is not what this channel is all about. I think we need more leaders in the hair loss community. And by default, I'm one of them. I'm one of the top channels on YouTube that addresses male pattern baldness in an accepting way. Not only do I accept my own male pattern baldness, but I accept you with yours, especially if you're more interested in overcoming your hair loss psychologically than throwing as much money, time, energy, thoughts on trying to stop it. I'm all about, hey man, it's all hugs around here. I'm Nick Shell, and I'm one of the leading YouTubers when it comes to male pattern baldness as far as embracing hair loss and saying, hey man, you're normal, you're just like us. Forget some fantasy about being the exception to the rule and being 40 years old and having a perfect head of hair. Forget that. That's not us. This is us. Are you one of us? Comments right here.